Ironically, we're at 69%.
He has started a conga line at the Christmas party.
If anyone's gonna save Christmas, it'll be Allie Hazelwood.
Hello, my dear friend. This time I have an emotional support gingerbread man coming at ya from Christmas Central with a wicked cold. I brought out the big guns. We've got Yule tangerines straight from Jeju. It's tangerine season, coming in clutch. I have the last tea bag I bought when I caught COVID in France. It worked wonders for me then. Hope it's gonna do its magic again this time. And then I also, after I'm done with that, I have this Gardener's Mint tea from Beacon Hill Books and Cafe in Boston. This, I don't know if this is a compliment or not, but this smells like Vicks Vapor Rub in a tea tin. Oh, just sniffing that, I feel more alive. So we are ready. What are we doing today? Putting ourselves through a lot of pain. This is year 2. I'm back, baby, for another round of Christmas rom-coms. Yes, I have 11 books on my list. Some of them are really short. I'm waiting on a few of them at the library. 3 of these currently are Kindle Unlimited. I bought a couple of them. I'm crazy, yes. So we're just gonna see where the wind blows. Oh, this is also so soft. Olivia, where did you get this? My friend Olivia bought him for me. Look at him. So soft. Before I dive in to what could only be more pain in my future, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of this video who has supported me through almost all of my really painful videos. I don't know why, but Squarespace always seems to be behind me when I take on my toughest battles. So thank you so much to Squarespace. Squarespace is where you can host your online presence. I've used them for years for my blog, caricakes.net. But regardless of what kind of space you want to create online, Squarespace will help make that happen. So they have monetization features for shops. If you're running a business that involves clients having to schedule appointments with you, they have a calendar and scheduling section. They have a great analytics system. They have a ton of free beautiful templates to make your website look really wonderful. The actual back end side of the site that you see is so easy to navigate as someone who doesn't really do tech that well. There's a comment section. You can connect your social media accounts. It's really, if I can do it, you can do it. So I will have a link in the description box, but you can go to squarespace.com/caricanread to get 10% off of your first website or domain. Highly recommend if you are trying to start some kind of venture in 2025. Squarespace will really help get you there. So as you can see, I am fighting. This cold is coming on. Wow, I'm out of breath. This cold means business. So we're gonna see. I feel like this is the perfect storm to start this video because I am definitely one to, when I am homesick, I'm not a person that gets sick that often, but whenever I was homesick, you would lay in bed and watch rom-coms. Mine was always My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and to this day, I don't know why. To the point where I can't watch it, I can't think about My Big Fat Greek Wedding without feeling sick. I'm gonna lay on the couch, I'm gonna chug tea, and I'm going to read a book that will hopefully bring me some kind of joy. And if it's cheesy, if it puts me to sleep, all the better. Maybe it will make me heal faster. So I am going to start with, I'm so scared. I don't know anything about any of these, okay? I'm gonna start with Under the Mistletoe with You. I think someone I trusted posted about it. Allie Hazelwood might have promoted it. I'm not sure. But you know what? It doesn't matter. We're just gonna dive in. All right. Hold on. Let me prepare for a dramatic reading. Are you ready? I'm sorry. Even the screen looks like chaos. I feel stuffy inside. The screen feels stuffy. Life imitates art, truly. Here we go. Goodreads. Under the Mistletoe with You by Lizzie Huxley Jones. This came out, 1 month ago. It's November, Carrie. I'm October 24th? That was 2 days ago. No, it is November. Okay, here we go. It has 62 ratings. How did I find this book? 62 ratings, sitting at a 4.15. Ready to spend a quiet Christmas with his nearest and dearest, Christopher has closed up shop in his bakery. He's wrapped up and packed up his presents, and he's found someone to stay in his flat over the festive period. Everything's under control. That is, until the mysterious person he's rented his flat to turns out to be none other than... Nash Nadeau, an actor and the star of all Christopher's favorite Christmas movies. In fact, he's the guy Christopher's been crushing on for the whole past year. Since last Christmas. Oh, God. For Nash, this Christmas was a chance to escape Hollywood, to go to a small town and hide away, alone, in a place where no one knows who he is. But when a huge snowstorm hits, the whole country grinds to a halt. There's no way Christopher's leaving, and there's nowhere else for Nash to stay. Jeez, Carrie, who... Again, I go into these not knowing anything. The two of them are just gonna have to weather this together. Snowed in for Christmas. Yeah, so, all right. What does it say? They say never meet your heroes. But what about getting snowed in with them? Oh no, it is 384 pages. Oh, this isn't their first. They had another Christmas rom-com 2 years ago called Make You Mine This Christmas. Oh no. Oh no, I scrolled down and now I'm looking at other ones. Hold on. I'm not trusting any book that says this is not related to Under the Mistletoe, but other books that say for fans of Gilmore Girls, I just don't know what that means anymore. What does that even mean? You know? Okay, I'm going to dive in. I have it already ready on my Kindle. I'm just going to read you the first line. Oh my God, I'm like very warm. Is it dual POV? I'm kind of feeling. Yes, it is dual POV. I love a rom-com in dual POV. All right. To Christopher Calloway, the best things about Christmas are usually building the gingerbread house, making a wish at midnight, diving back into one of his favorite children's fantasy novels, and eating as much as physically possible. This year, though, the thing he's looking most forward to is a break. An actual break. Well, and the gingerbread house. No matter what happens, he will always want to build the gingerbread house. I appreciate people who love tradition. A nice gingerbread house every year. A nice rom-com marathon every year. Off we go. Off we go. I'm going to eat this tangerine. It's going to bring me back to life. And we're going to see how much we can read today. I'm also maybe getting a package today that will contain another Christmas surprise that I'm very excited about. So it's a good day. My body is strong. My body is already, I can feel it where it's darkest before the dawn. I am tomorrow. I will be fine. And it might snow tomorrow. Happy to be here. Happy to be alive reading Under the Mistletoe. Let's dive in. I should not be eating this without any treats in the house. Sea salt fudge. Oh my God, I would kill for some of that right now. But alas, what do I have? Nothing. Genuinely not a single treat in my house. I'm so sad. I'm just warning you, regardless of if this book is good or not, I'm already near tears just because I am delirious. We're on page 2 and I'm like almost in tears over not having fudge. All right. Okay, Christopher, you've got a fan in me. So basically, he's describing his last Christmas because he is waiting to close up his cafe and he's just like killing time. So he's reminiscing. And apparently last Christmas, he decided that he was going to bring home a fake girlfriend because he wasn't out to his family, I guess. And that totally didn't work because terrible schemes and fake romances never work. And also his best friend slash fake girlfriend named Hoff fell in love with his sister Kit in a matter of days, which is totally preposterous. And then he like had a horrible time at home, something with his dad. And he's just like, fuck it, fine, I'm quitting my job. So he quit his like well-paying job in finance, went to a 6-month boot camp at a patisserie and boulangerie school, and bought his own damn bakery. And now he's happy, but he's tired. He's very tired. So I just really love that. He lives on the North Welsh coast and he's just having a ball. And I kind of low-key want to read that that Christmas too. But okay. Famous last words. We love chaos. I'm only on page 12, but we've already been introduced to the like one and only friend he has made in the small town, because he's really busy and he's the random English guy in a small Welsh town, and you know, just hasn't made any friends. And I love her. It's low-key giving, I don't want to make the call yet, but like the cozy level of Lovelight Farms. Like, I love Lovelight Farms because of the other small town side characters, and it's kind of giving, like, the banter is very Lovelighty. All right, I don't think the actual, well, you know what? I'm not going to make any promises. I think if you love Lovelight, I mean, again, I'm on page 12, but good start. Okay, I left them already because they spent their little meet cute moment discussing the Chronicles of Narnia. But Nash did call Christopher buddy. Like, I don't know, buddy, the day I had. I feel like this is a case of a British author trying to write an American man. Maybe without, like, quite understanding the nuance of buddy. Anyway, so yeah, they're buddies now. I don't know, bud. Okay, so Nash is definitely being portrayed as the stereotype, the specific stereotype that, like, people from the UK have of Americans. He definitely made, like, a dumb comment about Brexit and stuff. Okay, Lizzie. Let's calm down a little bit. Lizzie, leave us alone. And Nash is from Canada, so all of this is anti-Canada stuff. Set the Americans free. Ooh, husband jump scare. Hi, Kurt. Okay, I cannot. Lizzie, you needed a Californian to read this for you. Catfish tacos? They're just fish tacos. Like, just say fish tacos. I don't know. This Kurt character says dude after every sentence. I feel like we're going a little too hard on the, like, American/Californian stereotype when Nash is Canadian, by the way. But yeah, it's like a little grating to read. It's sort of like, we're only on page 58, but it's kind of like we're throwing every American stereotype in here, and it's not like this is how Christopher is viewing Nash. It's just how Nash is, like all the American characters are. So like let's calm down. Let's calm down. But great, now I'm craving fish tacos. So awesome. Like, this is a phrase that we use. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. We say that in America. We say that. Hi, 20% update while I cook myself some, we've got vegetables that need to be used in the refrigerator soup. And sorry, I already had like garlic all over my hands by the time I picked up my camera, so you're sitting on the rest of my tangerines as my tripod. So far, the book, it's pretty fine. We haven't really gotten anywhere. We're at 20% and we have just got like the first day over of like the setup. Now we're snowed in. They're on each other's nerves. So far, Nash has called him in his head. He thinks that Christopher looks like Kermit, but also a giraffe, and he's just too tall. He's very strangely tall. Also, Nash is trans, and I believe that is known throughout the general public. I believe Christopher is aware of that as well. Christopher is bi, but not out to his family, I don't think. His family is like aware, like his sister and his friends know, but his family is more like, oh, you know, like you have a special friend over, like very supportive, but like he hasn't said anything to them yet. So yeah, that's kind of it. I think that she's going a little hard on her Americans. Like I already said, all the American characters are like, dude, my man, bud. And I'm like, what? Like, these are like, he's just barely 30. I'm like, what? I don't know. But to be fair, Nash is also pointing out a few British stereotypes as well. So it's supposed to be like a culture clash, but it's kind of like not done well.
The dogs that wear the sweaters? Yeah. Well, actually, we say jumpers.
But so far, like, I am excited to see how this goes. I can already see it if this were like a Hallmark rom-com, it would be very cute on screen already. There have already been like bakery mishaps that involve them getting covered in flour. So yeah, I'm having a good time, but it feels a little early. So I'm gonna make my soup. I put a couple extra cloves of garlic in here. Hopefully it'll kick me in the butt. So there you go. I'm sorry, but the way that he talks about Christopher. So he's explaining that he has a health issue and Christopher is like asking all the right questions. And he's like, not Kermit, not this giant, posh, flappy, anxious weirdo getting it. This gigantic locust of a man. A 67% update. Sun is out, sun is setting. It's still cute, but I think that the strengths are the dialogue, or like I think like the interactions with the side characters are really good. I think that we have had like their first steamy moment, and it was a little immediate and like over very quickly. Like, I don't need an overly descriptive smutty scene, you know me. But this was like, either make it closed door or make it like go for it. But this was very just like, I don't know, just a little bizarre. We also spent a lot of time delivering puppies from a dog who was giving birth in the middle of a snowstorm. Like, we spent a lot of time, now that I'm thinking about it, delivering those puppies. But you know what, so far okay. I think that there's like a few moments where we need a crisis, and so the characters will just randomly like be pissy to each other, and even the other characters are like, why are you, this is so random, why are you being pissy? I think it's just because like we need, I don't know. So not a perfect book, but like if you're looking for a cozy, very small town kind of romance where it's just a lot of like, everyone is snowed in, so they are just helping the town. Like most of the people living there are very old, so they're like the two youngest, strongest guys, and so they are bopping around like making sure everybody, like the old people, have access to their medicine, or like their heat works and stuff like that, shoveling snow. So it's just like cute vibes, like people helping each other. I appreciate it. Very Christmassy. And weirdly, like not super romantic yet. Like, other than the steamy scene, they still low-key kind of hate each other. And every time they start getting along, whoever's POV we're in is like, damn, I really wish we were fighting. I like it more when we're fighting. So it's one of those. It's one of those. But yeah. The weather has been so bizarre. I'm so full of soup, and I'm feeling a little bit better, but like I feel like I'm in the correct state of health to be reading this book, you know? Like, oh, bummer, snowed in, can't do anything. Sounds great, honestly. So, all right, see you potentially when it's over. Oh, also, Nash finds out. Like, I thought that the whole Christopher is secretly a fan of Nash was gonna be like the third act crisis. It's not. Nash knew like from the beginning he was suspicious, and then he like just kind of constantly brought things up to try and trap Christopher. He's like, should we watch Netflix? And Christopher's like, no, because he'll see like his watch history, you know? And he's like, man, like, just admit it. I know, it's very obvious. And he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Anyway, so that was cute. I'm glad that, I feel like that would have been a little cheap to use as another crisis. So what could happen now? What other animal needs to be birthed? I don't know. But on we go. Quick fire review of Under the Mistletoe with You. I will say, first and foremost, feel good. I extremely appreciate the side characters. I think that Shaz, I called it in the beginning, best character. It was interestingly less focused on the romance, I think. Kind of like I mentioned a little bit before. There was much more focus on like the building of community and like the small town in general. That it didn't feel swoony romancy. That being said, it was cute. I think that weirdly the romance parts were really rushed. Like I said, the steamy scenes were like blink and you miss them, and then like the third act crisis was also like whoop, immediately done. So it was quick, but it was, I thought, still like a cozy good time. It was well written. Once the like American jokes turned into like actual jokes and not Christopher just being pissed at Nash. Once we were like in on the joke, I was kind of like, okay, we say carts, you say trolley, haha. So yeah, I would say this isn't gonna be like a standout favorite of the year, but it delivered on the Christmas vibes. Very cozy, very small town, and just kind of goofy. I liked it. So that was actually, surprisingly, a pretty good start. Under the Mistletoe with You by Lizzie Huxley Jones. My Kindle is messing up her name. Yes, Huxley Jones. I'm gonna catch you a little bit later. I'm gonna be trying to spread out my Christmas rom-coms because I expect to lose my mind, but I hope to put that off until the very end of our marathon. So I'll catch you the next time I have a free day. And I'll see you then. But so far, so good.
And hello, we are back. Since I have last spoken to you, Seoul was hit with an unexpected snowstorm. We were supposed to get like flurries, and we got like this is the second day of like, we are covered in snow. I'll show you some clips. It's time for Christmas. I went out for a walk this morning and I went to a bakery and they had like fully decked out for Christmas. So I thought I was starting this video a little early. No, ma'am. Just on time. So I'm going to read a short book today because I don't want to get roped into anything. I have like a lot of like proper novel length romances to read. I'm going to read a novella. I was going to keep this one for the end because I thought if anyone's gonna save Christmas, it'll be Ali Hazelwood. Words that I didn't expect I'd ever say. But we started off strong. I feel like I'm getting a little overconfident because Under the Mistletoe with You was like fine. I wouldn't call it a romance. Like, it was just kind of a drama, a small town drama. I don't know. But it was like a good time. It was fine. It felt like a kind of Hallmark movie you would watch in a daze while you're sick and then kind of forget the title, but remember the plot. I felt like the characters kind of stick with me, maybe. Anyway, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna dive right in to a novella. Kindle Unlimited is doing some kind of novella short story collaboration thing. I don't know. For example, Six Deaths of a Saint. That was a Kindle series where they worked with a bunch of different authors to make a short story collection. They're doing that for Christmas. So the one that I picked, all the other ones looked a little like not up my alley. Desperate times, I might read them. But for the most part, the only one that caught my eye was Miss Ali Hazelwood's. So let me read to you what A Cruel Winter with You is about. Oh, this one's weird. It's like a second chance romance. I don't usually do that, Ali. But here we go. A Cruel Winter with You. This is from the Under the Mistletoe collection, which is a collab with Kindle. It came out. What? The Power of Ali. Good Lord. It's been out for 2 weeks. It already has 38,000 ratings and it's sitting at a 3.8. That's bonkers. But anyway, for two former childhood friends, a blustery winter storm stirs some frosty and scorching memories in a delightful short story by the #1 New York Times bestselling author Ali Hazelwood. All the newly minted pediatrician Jamie Malik wants is to borrow a roasting pan for Christmas dinner. Unfortunately, that requires her to interact with Mark, her best friend's troublemaking brother, who's now a tech billionaire. Ali! Oh no, it's a billionaire romance. Haven't read one of those yet. He's the one who got away. She's the one who broke his heart. Outside a howling blizzard, inside a crackling fire. Suddenly, being snowbound with the man she never expected to see again might not be such a bad way to spend a winter's night. Allie Hazelwood's Cruel Winter with You is part of Under the Mistletoe, a stirring collection of December romances that thrill and tingle all the way. Who wrote that? Who wrote that? They can be read or listened to in one swoony sitting. That's what I want. 73 pages, Cruel Winter with You. I have it already. Let me read to you maybe the first sentence. I'm also reading, like, another reason why I kind of want to read a short book is because I'm in the middle of The Gilded Crown, which I actually am really enjoying, so I'm kind of distracted is another reason. Let me scroll down. I know you're on here. Cruel Winter with You. Let's see. Chapter 1. In an ideal world, Mark Compton would be acting like a total dick. I'm not asking for much. Some gloating, maybe? Obnoxiously raised eyebrows? A sneered, well, look who showed up unannounced on Christmas Eve. I'm not picky. Any of the above would make me feel exponentially better about the situation. But no. Mark opens the front door in a blaze of towering Midwestern good looks. And when I look up at his handsome face, all I can detect is genuine surprise to see me standing on his parents' snow-covered porch. It's like he doesn't wish me ill. Like he doesn't even hold a grudge over the terrible things I said to him a few months ago. Or over my fumbled, insufficient apology. Oh, so he's a nice guy. I love reading about nice guys. I'm so sick of the grumps. I'm so sick of the misunderstandings. Allie, just give me a nice guy. That's all I want. I'm starting me and my unnamed gingerbread man. I really love you. He's so soft, guys. I can't. Off I go.
Oh, look, it's me. Except I don't regularly save people's lives. I just answer incorrectly. Allie coming through. Okay, so I'm not the biggest fan of childhood friends to lovers in general, but this is like, this guy is her best friend's little brother, and it's only an age difference of 2 years, but like, she was there when he was born. She held him. And she was like, what is this ugly baby? I'm not so sure about that one. But I do like that Mark is very protective. He's like, you're not going out in that storm. She walked to his house to get the pan, but the storm got really, really bad. So he's like, listen, I'm not above tying you to the furniture to keep you here for safety purposes, obviously. Just how do these things pop into her head? Like, it's a totally normal storyline, and then all of a sudden, if a vengeful angel were to drop from the skies and chop off 3 of my fingers, I could still count our interactions on one hand. Allie.
Okay, I do hate childhood friends to lovers, but I also love a unrequited crush. I love pining. I love. And she's doing it really well. I'm only on page 23. Little brother pining for his older sister's best friend. She's doing it. She's doing it.
Say it with me, y'all. We love Mark.
Mark is a tech bro that doesn't like crypto. I think I'm in love.
Also, I was telling Kurt about how Mark is a fictional man who is trying to create a service where you can send files quickly, and he doesn't like crypto. And he was like, oh, so he's what's his name? Drew Houston, the founder of Dropbox. And I was like, what? Did Allie Hazelwood just write a fan fiction about the CEO of Dropbox?
I read that in an hour or less. Thank you, Allie. I really needed that. I will say borderline obsessive, okay? Like the little brother, the like longtime crush. This is why I kind of don't love childhood friends to lovers, is because if you think about it too much, it's a little too much, okay? Calm down, Mark. But this was very cute, and like, don't read into it too much. Stupid. Does Mark say probably like for every 1 word Jamie says, Mark says 10? True. However, I liked it. If you're snowed in, if you have an hour that you're like hiding from your family,
or something. I'm glad I read that, guys. 2 for 2, man. 2 for 2. Okay, Cruel Winter with You. See you for our next book. We back, baby. I last talked to you yesterday, right? Reading the Allie Hazelwood novella, which the more that I think about it, the more that Mark is like, Allie just always takes something too far. She's like, a man is tall. And then she goes, he's the size of a refrigerator, right? It's like we reel it in. It was okay with just saying he's tall. In The Cruel Winter with You, Mark is like pining and obsessive in like a teenage crush way. And then she adds like right at the end a couple details that I'm like, should Jamie be concerned? Should Jamie be concerned? The more that I think about it, the more that I'm like, Jesus, Allie, like you made him just a smidge too weird for me. It was still a good time, okay? You know, I stand by it. But in between that time, it's been about 24 hours since I last spoke to you. I have added 2 more books to my list. So we'll see. There are a couple of them that are on hold at the library that just might not come in, and that will hold me back from attempting this ridiculous marathon. But yeah, the list just keeps growing instead of shrinking as I read more books. Anyway, I got a lovely package this morning. It was my book of the month book for December, a book that many of you have asked me to read. The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year. And I am going to finish a book hopefully in the next hour. So then I can dive right into this, but I'm going to be out and about. So I want to read the synopsis or read the summary with you. Shall we? I'm just going to read the inside of the book, but first I will look up the ratings on Goodreads just for consistency's sake. It came out 2 months ago. It came out in September. It has 5,500 ratings, sitting at 4.1. I will read from the inside of the book because it's exactly the same as on Goodreads, and I like holding a book. Knives Out gets a rom-com twist in this rivals to lovers Christmas romance mystery from best-selling author Allie Carter. The bridge is out. The phones are down. And the most famous mystery writer in the world just disappeared out of a locked room 3 days before Christmas. Meet Maggie Chase and Ethan Wyatt. She is the new queen of the cozy mystery. He's Mr. Big-time thriller guy. She hates his guts. He thinks her name is Marcy, no matter how many times she's told him otherwise. When they both accept a cryptic invitation to attend a Christmas house party at the English estate of a reclusive fan, neither is expecting their host to be the most powerful author in the world, Eleanor Ashley, the Duchess of Death herself. That night, the weather turns, and the next morning, Eleanor is gone. She vanished from a locked room, and Maggie has to wonder, is Eleanor in danger, or is it all some kind of test? Is Ethan the competition, or is he the only person in that snowbound mansion she can trust? As the snow gets deeper and the stakes get higher, every clue will bring Maggie and Ethan closer to the truth and each other. Because this Christmas, these 2 rivals are going to have to become allies, and maybe more, if they have any hope of saving Eleanor. Assuming they don't kill each other first. I am ready for this. I love authors. I love people who are like in the same career and they like low-key hate each other. I love that. I don't know why. So Dust Jacket is off. We Mean Business. I will be reading this. Oh, there's time jumps. I will be reading this later. We're gonna head out so that I can get a little bite to eat, but hopefully we will make a little dent in The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year. I will update you soon.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Oh no. Yeah, I'm on page 57 out of 300, out of 293 to be exact. The first page, the quote unquote prologue, which is the excerpt from the official police interrogation of Margaret Chase and Ethan Wyatt, is hilarious. So I was like, oh my God, love these two. This is going to be great. Chapter 1. Maggie is your very stereotypical romantic lead that is just frantic. She has so many thoughts. She jumps to so many, like, oh my God, someone will say hello and Maggie will be like, oh my gosh, his eyebrow was raised. He probably knows about all of my secrets and that I once, blah, blah, blah. Maggie, he said hello. This man that doesn't know you, he said hello to you. Okay? She's a lot. Okay, she's also a grown woman that when she meets her hero, she is a writer of mysteries. When she meets her idol, who is also a prolific author, queen of mysteries, she like can't form a sentence. And I just feel like you should be able to, form one sentence. She can't even say like, hi. Maggie's getting on my nerves. Ethan, what are the odds that both of them are annoying as all hell? The first time Ethan is introduced, he has started a conga line at the Christmas party, and he like congas by and he says like, hey Marcy. Her name is Maggie. That's how we meet Ethan, our alleged romantic lead. Both of them are the most annoying people. If I were snowed in a mansion with the two of them, it would become a murder mystery. But it wouldn't be a mystery. I would have killed them. They are so annoying. There have been I'm on chapter 15. More than one chapter has ended with Ethan, like there's an awkward silence, and whenever there's an awkward silence, Ethan just goes, wanna make out? Oh my God. So I feel like Ethan very much is acting this way because he knows it gets on Maggie's nerves. Like I'm holding out hope that he is this way. He's in on the joke. He knows he's annoying. Maggie, I don't think so. She's also recently divorced and her husband took everything. Pretty sure her best friend cheated with him. Best friend and husband, classic. He left her, took all of her money, all of her, her house, whatever. There was a misunderstanding in the hallway. Somebody was gossiping about her divorce, and Ethan said something along the lines of like, of course he left her. And yeah, that's where we are. They have flown to England at the behest of their favorite author. It's a little bit Knives Out-y in the sense that all of the characters are like unbelievable people. Like in Knives Out, everybody was a character turned up to 11, It kind of feels like that. No one's a believable human being. So I don't know how this is gonna go. I find that I'm interested in this kind of, it's a spooky mystery for Christmas. Like I'm into that. But if I have to read much more of Maggie and Ethan acting like not even like teenagers, like they're not humans is basically what it is. There's no way that these people are functioning human beings. I just don't know how much more of them I can take. I will finish this, so help me God, I will finish this book for you. I'm just warning you that I'm gonna be cranky. I'm also hungry. I also spent 20 minutes more than I should have in that mall. I was hot. I hate malls. It's around Christmas time, so it was packed, and everyone was hot and cranky because we were all wearing our coats inside for far too long, because they're cumbersome to hold, and there's just mistakes were made today. Anyway, I'm gonna lock down and finish this tonight, hopefully. So wish me luck. I understand that this is like the vibe. We're trying to get like a nostalgic comic book feel to this. I get it. But the back of the book is intentionally like, it's not gonna show up, but it's intentionally kind of dirty looking. Like it's supposed to look as if you picked up Almost like when you touch newspaper and you get ink on your fingers and then you touch something else, or your fingerprints get on other parts of the newspaper. That's what it looks like. So like, I know it's intentional, but why is my book dirty? Questions I have. All right. Maggie and Ethan, on we go.
Okay, no way is this author saying that Maggie has always been cool in a crisis and calm under pressure when she freaks the fuck out when a guy says hello to her. Like, she is not calm. I have read 78 pages. Not a single page has this girl been calm. Why is she suddenly calm now when there's an 81-year-old woman with a bad leg and it's freezing cold outside and she's missing? Maggie, this is the time to panic. You've panicked for everything else. Like, literally the next page, Miss Calm and Collected, she is given a matching turtle dove sweater with Ethan, and he's like, put yours on. Let's be twinsies. Maggie's heart was beating faster than usual. This girl is not calm in a crisis. Who wrote this? Allie? What's her name? Allie Carter. Allie Carter. Tell the truth about Maggie.
And they say romance is dead. So this is not good. I'm on page 204. There are 90 pages left. 150 pages in, it randomly switched to dual POV. So I don't know what that's about. Ethan immediately starts calling her sweetheart. I don't understand the mystery. Like, I get it, but it's written so choppily and strangely. Maggie is just a really annoying character. And then they just, for some reason, because they're the only people that they can trust in the house, they're sharing a room, and now they're sharing a bed, and they just like trauma bonded because they both have shit childhoods. So they're just like, when I was 9 on Christmas, my Christmas tree burned down, and when I was 13, my mom left us, and I've never seen her again. And then after that, they decide, wow, we have so much in common because our lives are shit. Wanna make out? There's like not a single part of this that I enjoy. I thought, like, for what was the first book I read, Under the Mistletoe with You, like, I didn't really care for the romance, but the outside plot, the small town, really enjoyed that. For this, I thought, I probably won't like the romance because the characters are annoying, but perhaps I will like the mystery element. The mystery element, it's also like not fun. So I'll let you know when I'm done. It's done. What do I have to say? This was stupid. I think that the way that it ended up, like, once, in a part of, like, this was very obviously inspired by Agatha Christie, right? In like the Orient Express or And Then There Were None, part where we realized that like every single character is guilty of something in some way. I thought that once Maggie and Ethan figured it out and started like pointing the finger and being like, well, you actually are this and I enjoyed it, but I thought the whodunit of the mystery was so stupid, and then how they handled it was really stupid. The whole story the whole story hinges on the fact that Ethan is a former member of the Secret Service. That's the only reason why he's there. Like, that's not a spoiler. It's well known that Eleanor Ashley, the Agatha Christie stand-in, is a big fan of Maggie's work. So that's why she invited Maggie for Christmas to like solve this mystery. Why was Ethan there? Not because he's an equally great writer of thrillers, but because he has a background in protective work, like the Secret Service. So dumb. Like, you couldn't have just hired a personal bodyguard. Like, this was truly so silly. And like the parts that were kind of interesting, like her whole divorce and her shitty best friend and ex-husband, like that wasn't even delved into that much. And then Ethan's backstory was super bizarre. And then we had the mystery, which a lot of things didn't even really happen, and them like
solving shit was a lot of them just like walking in tunnels. I don't think they really collected a lot of clues. I don't know, like it wasn't really romancy, but it wasn't really mystery-y, but it wasn't really a drama, and there wasn't a lot of Christmas, like other than the fact that it allegedly took place around Christmas and that was snowing a lot. It technically had all the ingredients, but like not enough of it, of any of them. So I can't really tell you what this was. So our luck had to have run out somewhere, and our third book was a dud. I mean, like, I could see maybe, I don't even know, I was kind of bored. I would say like maybe if you're on an airplane or like you really, I don't know. I feel like it could hit for some people, but I can't even try to recommend it. It was just a dud. Also, like, this whole misunderstanding with him calling her the wrong name. Turns out, like, it's a misunderstanding. They had like met once and she didn't remember, and they kind of shared an inside joke in which he called her Marcy and she forgot. But for the past 5 years, he thought she was in on the joke. So every time he was like, "Hi, Marcy," and she would be visibly angry and saying, "My name is Maggie, you dickwad." He was like, that's our cute little thing. You get, like, that's our joke, right? Like, he's in the Secret Service and he can't read people. Like, genuine anger, genuine confusion as to why you're calling her the wrong name, and you think she's in on the joke. She knows why you're calling her the wrong name for 5 years. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep now. I'll see you tomorrow when we start another, when we start another rom-com. But I would say don't run to get this one. See ya.
Good morning. We're being a little low budge today. I don't want to set up my microphone, but can't stop, won't stop. We've still got like 9 books to get through. I just got one of my library holds finally came in, so we're still waiting on 4 books, but I have faith, holding out for a Christmas miracle. I'm gonna start with a shorter book. This one is a Kindle Unlimited one, and it's by an author that has been recommended to me since I started reading romance, and I haven't read any of her work yet. This one seems like it's gonna be fun. I have a lot of faith in this one, so let me read it to you. I am talking about, let me go over here. I'm talking about Set the Record Straight, a sapphic holiday novella by Hannah Bonham Young. I saw Bisexual Awakening and I was like, hello, you called. Here it is, 6,000 ratings, 3.87. Okay. A fake dating, childhood friends to lovers, bisexual awakening holiday romance. The day Claire started her new dream job as an assistant to her photography idol, she was met with an assumption that caught her off guard and stunned her silent. Suddenly, she had to bring a girlfriend to the gallery's opening in a few weeks, all because she choked up and failed to correct her boss that she is, in fact, straight. Evan was recently dumped by her fellow teacher fiance for a mutual coworker and is still trying to figure out where it all went wrong. So when she gets the news the happy new couple will be hosting the staff's holiday party, she feels utterly horrified by her single status and looks for a quick solution. Together, these 2 old friends make a plan to get through the gallery opening and holiday party by pretending to date each other. Easy, right? That is, until Clara starts developing real feelings for Evan, shocking herself. All the while, Evan realizes that perhaps pretending to date your straight best friend who you've had a crush on for half your life isn't the best idea. Content warnings, homophobia, familial estrangement, mentions of religious oppression, ADHD, autism, and anxiety. Here we go. It should only be like 170 something pages. First line, we have dual POVs. November 15th. The rain ricochets off the sidewalk and raps on my umbrella, the sound like a drumline tapping on a single snare. There's a distant honk, some nearby yelling, splashing of tires. All the sounds that remind me how much I've missed Toronto. 5 months away managed to simultaneously feel like 5 minutes and 5 years. I'm diving into this one. I've got my coffee, I've got my cozy sweater. Here we go.
The way that I read this in the actual tempo of the song,
Oh, Hannah writes smut. I see. We're at 44%, and it was immediately like, should we fake date? Cut to, oops, I'm fully gay. So I don't know what else there's gonna be in here. It's just not, you know me. I'm not a smut girl. So this is like not my cup of tea. I'll finish it for you. For us to like have our fully realized, oh shit, I'm attracted to you in 30% of the book, in like 50 pages. I wanted more yearning and confusion. The awakening was too fast. Yeah, it goes from like, we've been friends for forever, but I haven't seen her in many years, to having dinner for the first time in years, realizing that they both need fake dates. Fast forward like 48 hours, they have their first like appearance together, just like they meet at her office. Clara, the straight girl, just randomly kisses Evan because she had a memory of when they were like having a sleepover and she felt a split second of feelings for Evan. And like from that kiss, they go home, they hook up. This is the next day. Like that's how fast this has gone from being like, oh no, I'm straight and I had to lie about my fake girlfriend, to being fully like, I'm moving in with my new girlfriend in a day. So it turns out that the whole issue of her boss, like she thought that her boss thought that she was gay. Turns out it's just that old confusing thing when old women say girlfriend and they mean like friend girl. So she panicked for nothing. Okay, that was a super quick read. Just because I'm not a smutty girl, I didn't like any of the smut parts, but the last bit, like when they go home for Christmas and the epilogue, was cute. I just kind of, it wasn't my style. Immediate smutty scenes, not my fave. So putting that away, but that only took me like an hour and a half to read. So we can move right on to our next one. So yeah, I would say I get why people would like it if they're good with the smut, but not my taste, not my taste. Let's move on to another one that is a bit longer. Maybe that was also an issue, is like the pining. I need a little more. I'm gonna try a full-length romance novel, The Holidays. Okay, breezing through. We are now going to be reading The Holidays. This is also on Kindle Unlimited, and this has a higher rating than other books, so I'm excited. This also came out 2 years ago by Brittany C. Cherry. It has almost 7,600 ratings, and it's sitting at a 4.2. All she wanted for Christmas was a boyfriend for the holidays. All he wanted was for her to take her crappy first dates elsewhere. Quirky Holly Jackson, I assume her name is just Holly. Okay, I thought her name was Quirky Holly Jackson. No. Holly Jackson was unlucky in love, yet her romantic heart refused to give up on her search for companionship, even after her fiancé left her at the altar on Christmas Eve. Ooh. Grumpy restaurant owner Kai Kane wanted nothing to do with love after his last relationship crashed and burned. Romance was the last thing on his mind. Unfortunately for him, when an eccentric Holly kept entering his restaurant nightly with a different first date, his annoyance grew. When Kai volunteered to help Holly find a suitor, it was for one reason only: to get her out of his restaurant and go on a second date with someone in a different location. Once Kai became Holly's dating coach, her confidence grew. Oh no. It was all going great until Kai became increasingly jealous of the connection Holly developed with another man. The more Holly fell for Kai's pick for her, the more overprotective he became. Kai quickly realized that all wasn't fair when it came to love and the holidays. He's going to have to step up his game if he wanted a shot at the ultimate prize, being Holly's favorite date. This is a steamy, full-length romantic comedy that will put you right in the holiday spirit. Was that weird? Are book summaries usually in the past tense? I don't know why that read as strange to me. But anyway, it's about 300 pages. I'm gonna start it in a sec. I'm maybe a little bit later today because I'm gonna take a break and maybe leave the house. But yes, on to the holiday dates we go. We are keeping the holiday spirit going. And also I will say that for set the record straight, it got good once it got Christmassy. Like the beginning setup was very not Christmassy whatsoever. It wasn't until they like went home for Christmas that I got the vibes. So it kind of also lost points for lack of Christmas until the very end, but cute epilogue. So holiday dates, catch you when we start. Okay, we're starting off with a flashback to when she is getting left at the aisle. And if your best friend since elementary school hates the guy that you're marrying, listen to them. Oh shit. Oh, he didn't just leave her. Oh no. Okay, a 27% update. I'm enjoying it, but there needs to be a line when it comes to when we love a man written by a woman. Kai is a woman. Like when he is first giving her dating advice, like here's the list of do's and don'ts for like who you're even gonna swipe right on or left or whatever. You cannot tell me that was a man speaking. Like, I'm so sorry, Kai, no. But that's okay because this is a book. Holly's a little dumber than I wanted her to be. She's a romance writer and she's so oblivious of red flags, doesn't know, I don't know, like she's coming off a little silly and I wanted her to be a little bit cooler. But we continue. I'm taking a break to eat some pasta and then we're gonna go back in. Yeah, not perfect, but so far so good. Take that, Lizzie. Americans do say it. Thank you, Mono. 50% update. So good.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry
I love when characters bond over hating the same shitty person. And that's where we're at right now, and I'm having the time of my life. The book has been finished. The holiday dates. Guys, why is this year kind of okay? The holiday dates, I fully enjoyed it. I have like notes, okay? Like definitely lost a point only once, but once is too many times for using the word juices in a steamy scene. The jokes, like the kind of corny jokes the post-coital jokes were like cringe, but I feel like cringe in a realistic way. Some of the crises were a little random. The trauma of once you get the full picture of Kai's backstory, traumatic, but overall, you know what? I had a good time. It was also mostly in Kai's POV, and I think that it worked. As someone who personally I prefer pining, and he was absolutely the one who fell first, I didn't mind it. I think it might bother some people. I think it got more balanced later in the book, but yeah, it was definitely like Kai heavy. He also got more closure, I think. Holly didn't quite get the closure that I wanted her to get, but that's okay. She got like less silly for sure. So yeah, I really like Holly, so that was great. A little, again, like started off not Christmassy at all because most of it was the build up to needing a Christmas date. I also kept forgetting where this was supposed to take place. It allegedly takes place in Chicago, and then a little bit in Wisconsin once they go home for the holidays. But I for the life of me, could not remember where this was taking place. But yeah, the holiday dates, you know what? I approve. So I'll catch you tomorrow when we move on to our next. But I would say that was actually, I feel like that was truly the most romantic comedy of the bunch that we've actually read. I don't think Under the Mistletoe was quite as romantic as I wanted. Cruel Winter with You was just really short, and because of that, it wasn't like as funny as I wanted it to be. Mark is a little creepy. As we know, the previous book that I just read, I don't even remember what it was called, wasn't good. This one was cute. Little brother's up to no good, pining, Christmas, football games. Good night. See you tomorrow. Merry Christmas. It's not Christmas. It's December 1st.
Good morning, everyone. Really fast because I'm going to walk over to a cafe and start reading. If it loads onto my Kindle, I'm going to read a book that was recommended last year. I think it was new last year, so it didn't really have a lot of buzz about it, or it had a lot of buzz, but it didn't have a lot of feedback. And I decided to read it this year. However, now looking at it, the Goodreads and the Amazon ratings, honestly, like places where usually it has high ratings, it's not looking good. So we'll see. This is A Merry Little Meet Cute. It has almost 57,000 ratings on Goodreads, and it's sitting at a 3.35. It also has an incredibly long summary, and I don't know why. So, okay, here we go. If you hear laughter, Kurt might be listening in, and this already looks like a very silly book, so if you hear him giggling in the background. B. Hobbs, aka Bianca Von Honey, has a successful career as a plus-size adult film star. Okay, I knew this. With a huge following and 2 supportive moms, Bee couldn't ask for more. But when Bee's favorite producer casts her to star in a Christmas movie he's making for the squeaky clean Hope Channel, Bee's career is about to take a much more family-friendly direction. Forced to keep her work as Bianca under wraps, Bee quickly learns that this task is a lot easier said than done, though it all becomes worthwhile when she discovers her co-star is none other than her childhood crush, Nolan Shaw, an ex-boy band member in desperate need of a career rehab. Nolan's promised his bulldog manager to keep it zipped up on set, and he will if it means he'll be able to provide a more stable living situation for his sister and mom. But things heat up quickly in Christmas Notch, Vermont. Oh, I see. This is part of the Christmas Notch series, and so I guess they all take place in the same small town. Okay, I get it. Things heat up quickly in Christmas Notch, Vermont when Nolan recognizes his new co-star from his closed doors account, like OnlyFans. Oh yeah, he's a member. Now Bea and Nolan are sneaking off for quickies on set, keeping their new relationship a secret from the Hope Channel's executives. Things only get trickier when the reporter who torpedoed Nolan's singing career comes snooping around and takes an instant interest in mysterious newcomer Bea. If Bea and Nolan can't keep their off-camera romance behind the scenes, then this merry little meet cute might end up on the cutting room floor. This like reading this doesn't sound like my style. Like, I want the very first kiss to be the very last scene. You know me with the pining, but if they're already like interested in each other, it's also 418 pages. All right, we'll give it a try. Gonna go for my walk. See you at the coffee shop.
Okay, back from my walk. What am I on? 20? I don't think my Kindle is counting correctly. It's a 400-page book, and it said that I'm already at like 30%. I guess that's, I don't know. I'm on page 92, allegedly at 28%. So weirdly, like it's fine if you go into it knowing what it is, right? There is so much talk of, I don't think there's a single page where we're not talking about masturbation or like having to hide an erection or like just being turned on in general.
not a page. So if you know that going in, like for some reason, it's not bothering me too much because I was like, yeah, that's what this is gonna be, okay? I have questions about like consent. It feels like all the characters are also uncomfy, if that makes sense. Like Nolan is very much like humiliated and really concerned about him knowing who B is and like not wanting to tell her. Like he feels very conflicted and like freaked out, and I don't know. So yeah, for some reason, like I'm fine with it so far, other than like my few questions on, like, for example, they had to film a kiss scene. You are two professionals acting in a scene. They rehearsed it, they felt comfortable with each other, they were okay to film the kiss scene. However, in the back of Nolan's mind, Nolan is like overwhelmingly turned on by he acted professional, but like in his mind, he's like, holy shit, this is the girl that I like jerk off to every night. You know, I pay to see her do nasty things, and she's not aware of that. But then on the flip side, she has also had a huge crush, like had her sexual awakening with Nolan as a teen, being a fan of his boy band. So like she's definitely also done nasty things, thinking about him doing nasty things, and neither of them know. So it's one of those situations where I'm like, we're adults that have all consented to these acts. We don't know everybody's backstories. Everyone's acting professional and respectful. So that's what I'm saying when it's like, I'm feeling like, but it's, I don't know. I'm gonna continue for a little bit, and then I have to film something. Also, okay, it's already come out, and I'm really sorry if this is already sold out, but I just got a package in the mail for the holiday season. Book of the Month just released a limited edition hat. They just said hat. So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, it's winter. They're gonna give me, it's gonna be like a beanie, you know, because those are quite easy. I feel like most brands will be like, yeah, have a beanie, you know? Look, I adore baseball hats, and this says book person. So great. So anyway, sidetracked, but yeah, I'm gonna continue. Apparently from the brief, I accidentally scrolled down and looked at a review, and it seems like the main issue with this is that it's too long, and I don't know, it's going by really fast. We'll see. Oh my God, my thoughts. I didn't check in after I finished the book because, to be completely fair, I feel like I didn't even read that book because this is complicated, because I kind of liked the idea, the setup, where we have all of these people who are obsessed with keeping their image squeaky clean, but they just want to be themselves. And I like, love it. I get it. And then there's this whole drama of this Dominique, whatever his name is, who comes in and it's very like Perez Hilton-y, like gross. And eventually the world turns on him. They're like, yeah, well, actually, wait, you are being, you know, the problem. The bits in between the sex scenes, I was like, oh, this could be good. But unfortunately, and they were like funny, it was a funny book when they were actually talking and not screwing each other. This was so smutty. I should have known, but what's hilarious is that, and like, so my rating is basically that this book just wasn't for me, so it's not really fair for me to rate it. This is for people who really love smut, and I think, like, from what I read, it was like what I really appreciate, which is if there's gonna be a steamy scene, I like that it's fun. Like, I love when people are giggling and like joking and talk. Like, I hate the dirty talk. There's dirty talk in this, but like, I just hate when people are so serious. And this was like, they were having fun. They were enjoying each other. That's what I love to see, if I have to see it at all. So this is for people who enjoy reading that. I didn't, so Scandal. I know that on Book Talk it's going viral of like, people only read dialogue. I'm gonna be real with you, in the smut scenes, I just kind of read the dialogue to check if I was gonna miss anything, but I don't need the descriptions of who's putting what where. It's just not my thing, okay? So yes, I skimmed the smut scenes. What's so funny though is that I remember last year I was in a bookstore and I just happened to like strike up a conversation with someone. Shout out to the Doylestown bookstore I think I was in. There was like a holiday romance table and I was standing there looking at these and a woman started talking to me and I think I was looking at Merry Little Meet Cute. She kind of told me what it was about. She's like, oh yeah, that's about an adult film star. I'm making applesauce in my rice cooker if you hear something in the background. So I was kind of like, ooh, yeah, maybe not my style. And she was like, it was actually surprisingly really good. And so I'm like, good, now that I know what's in it, like, that's so brave. People are so brave to just be like, that is a smutty, filthy, dirty book, and I liked it. And to tell a complete stranger, I love that for her. I'm glad that I finally know what's going on in her brain. So yes, that was not my style. And like, the steamy scenes were the longest scenes, always. But there were scenes in between that were good, and I think that if, for me personally, like if we had had more time out of the bedroom, out of the church, I think I would have like loved these characters more, but for me it was just, that wasn't what was important in this book apparently. So that one I wish I could have had more commentary on, but it just kind of wasn't. It wasn't for me, and that's fine. I have a wild card, not a wild card, but like a secret weapon that I'm keeping for the end, or should I just read it now? You know what? We're gonna do something weird. I don't even know how this is gonna look on Goodreads, but it is a short story collection. I only know one of the authors, and she writes hilarious historical romances, and I just want to see what the hell she could get up to with a Christmas short story. So this is the collection called How the Dukes Stole Christmas. It is a combination of Tessa Dare, Sarah McLean, Sophie Jordan, and Joanna Shoup. I only know Tessa Dare. Tessa Dare, what was the one that I read that like killed me? I read Romancing the Duke. So funny. I think I also maybe read Any Duchess Will Do, and that one was like stupid funny. Romancing the Duke. Hilarious. I read it on an airplane and I felt like I was hallucinating. Like there were certain scenes where I was like, there's no way that she wrote this. So funny. So I'm gonna try her short story. This is the introduction to the whole collection. It says Christmas, and it has 6,800 ratings and it's a 3.72. Okay? So it says, Christmas magic is in the air, from the ballrooms of London to abandoned Scottish castles to the snowy streets of Gilded Age New York. That all sounds perfect to me. 4 best-selling authors whip up some unforgettable romance with a little help from some enchanted shortbread. Ooh, now I'm craving shortbread. So the one that I'm gonna read right now is by Tessa Dare. It's called Meet Me in Mayfair. Louisa Ward needs a Christmas miracle. Unless she catches a wealthy husband at the ball tonight, the horrid, heartless Duke of Thorndale will evict her family from their beloved Mayfair home. I already know where this is gonna go, Tessa. But when her friend begs to switch dance cards, Louisa finds herself waltzing with the enemy. The horrid, heartless, and unexpectedly handsome Thorndale himself. Now the Duke's holding her future in his hands, and he's not letting go. Okay, well I simply must read this. I don't know where my Kindle is, so see you.
Okay, I'm well aware that New Jersey and Jersey are different places, but I just think it's funny that she's like, if we get kicked out of our home, the only place we're gonna go is Jersey. Okay, we jump pretty much instantly into the like, you are the last man on earth I would ever marry. The Elizabeth Bennet take down that scene, but on a ballroom floor, because he says that he hates London, and she's like, well, I fucking hate you, so. Yeah, it just feels like I'm reading a Christmas
Pride and Prejudice remix, and I'm enjoying it. I'm so full of applesauce. Oh my god. So here's the setup. As we know, her friend, they switched dance cards. Why? Because her friend needed to sneak out so she could elope with the love of her life, who was just below her, so she couldn't marry him, you know. Her family wouldn't approve. So she's like, you just gotta stall for me so that I can go elope. And of course, Louisa is a good friend, and she does. Turns out, classic case of like, people are acting so annoying to the Duke, like clearly just wanting to get married, that Louisa is the only one who has said that she's not interested in him. So of course he's like, oh, tell me more. He likes women with opinions. And so there's like a whole mishap. She gets a stain on her dress. She needs to leave, whatever. He ends up walking her home after a series of unfortunate events. And she decides that she's going to show off how much she loves her neighborhood. And so hopefully by the time they get home, he will be like, oh my God, I could never take your home away from you. How dare I? So she is currently taking him on a tour of Mayfair, the neighborhood. And he's like, no, I just want to walk you home. And she's like, well, you're shit out of luck because you don't know where my house is. So I'm just going to walk you all over. And he's like, damn, you're right. Niche favorite trope, being forced to suddenly sing Christmas carols together in order to cover for your loitering. Cute. I mean, very short, classic, hit all the notes, you know. There's a miscommunication, there's blah, 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 blah. Happy days. Thank you, Tessa. That was 88 pages and just... Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Wackadoodle week. Never a dull day in Korea. I actually ended up reading, there are 4 short stories in that collection that I mentioned to you. I ended up continuing them because, I don't know if you heard, but Korea had a very quick, it was 4 hours really, of martial law being declared. Kurt, I'm like literally about to go to sleep, curled up in bed, and Kurt just goes, oh, we're under martial law. And for me, I'm thinking like, oh my God, did North Korea finally grow some balls and do something? No, it's just our crazy president. It's, you know, nothing. But for a moment there, I was like grabbing my passport, like I was ready. And then it was just like, no, it's just men who run countries, man. There's a type. There's a type. So anyway, needless to say, we were up until about 2 a.m. just making sure there wasn't gonna be like a coup, wasn't gonna be a dictatorship. So the next day I was just so tired that I ended up kind of like, I did other things, but whenever I was like about to take a nap, I would read a little bit. I read the next 2 stories. They weren't that good. Yeah, they weren't that good. I don't know how Tessa Dare, the thing with Tessa Dare is that she can write ridiculous things, but she'll give you an ending that it's like, okay. So like the end of the story, they don't get married after just having spent 12 hours together. He decides that he's gonna like properly court her. Okay, which I'm fine with, but the rest of them were very much like just a little too fantastical for me, a little too like, whoa, slow down there. There was the one that I thought I would like, which was there is a girl who her family goes to vacation, like in the olden times, like 1700s. Her family is staying in Scotland, and then they get word that there is like a crazy snowstorm coming. So they all leave and they forget her. So she's trapped in Scotland for like what could be months because the storm like closed the path. So like carriages can't get through. Anyway, so not only is she like stuck alone in a castle, but now there's apparently a group of raiders or like thieves going around attacking these homes that are not properly protected. So the local duke goes and collects her, and of course she gets like hypothermia or something, so they need the best way to make somebody warm is to, you know, exchange body heat, skin to skins. Like I was sort of like, okay. Because I'm running out of time, I'm trying to be a little bit smarter with the books that I pick. I was going to read
The Christmas Swap by Talia Samuels. It looks like it's a fake dating sapphic rom-com. However, it has a really low rating. It's sitting at a 3.3 on Goodreads, and I just don't know if I want to risk reading another bad book. So instead, I'm going to read one that, again, could be bad, but at least Goodreads rated it high, which, you know, I mean, what does that mean? I'm going to read The Christmas Fix. I'm about to film a podcast episode with my friend who has a podcast called Control Your Shelf. And I know I'm going to lose my voice from laughing with them, so I'm recording this ahead of time. The Christmas Fix. This is apparently number 2 in a series. Okay, so she wrote one called Mr. Fixer Upper. I think it takes place in the same town, but it's not a Christmas one. Whatever, we're just diving in. The Christmas Fix, 62,000 ratings, sitting at 3.97. All right. She'll save Christmas just to spite him. When a late season hurricane hits Mary, Connecticut, city manager and single dad Noah Yates has to inform the already devastated residents that there won't be a Christmas festival this year. No festival means no tourism dollars, a disaster of epic proportions for his hometown. But when home renovation expert / smoking hot reality TV star Catalina King shows up with a camera crew and a budget big enough to put the town back together again, Noah balks. The last time Kat was in town, she stirred up trouble everywhere she went. Residents were still talking about the town's first and only bar fight. Noah doesn't need a TV diva capitalizing on his town's tragedy or filling his daughter's head with glitz and glam. Kat is ready and willing to put Mary back in Christmas mode with a holiday special that will leave everyone believing in miracles and getting her friends back in the home they love. But there's one big problem standing in her way, and his name is Noah Yates. He's wrong about her, and she can't wait to prove it. Ring those jingle bells because it's on. What? Okay, so I do love grumpy, so niche, but like grumpy man meets really peppy influencer. I forget which Love Light Farms one, like I forget the titles because they're all the same to me. Whatever Love Light Farms one that was with the grumpy farmer and the small town influencer. Why did I kind of dig that? So here we go. The Christmas Fix. I'll read you the first while I have ya. I've got 10 minutes. Kat stabbed the answer button on her phone screen while the makeup artist filled in her right eyebrow. Hey, Lore, tell me where I go for shooting, Kat demanded. Put your eyebrow down or I'm gonna make you look like you have caterpillars crawling across your forehead, Archie warned her. Kat wrinkled her nose at the makeup artist and smoothed the muscles of her forehead. Yeah, about that, Lauren began. I don't think you're gonna like this. The Christmas Fix. Off we go.
Okay, we're only 4% in. I'm only on page 10, but we're setting it up that Catalina, aka Kat, is like this superstar, really popular, has this great TV show, but it's very much hammering the point home that she is like beautiful, but smart and independent, and she can wield a sledgehammer. And then there's this part about like, oh, I'm so excited to eat salad, but actually she wants a bacon cheeseburger, but you know, she can't eat what she wants anymore. 32 means making more good choices than bad. I always hate this setup. It's very dated. Ugh. So hopefully once we get out of Manhattan, it will change.
Also, she's getting asked to do topless magazine cover shoots to like talk about the second season of her renovation show, and she's like, no, these girls are worth more than a magazine cover. What? I don't know, man.
Started on a cold December day. Yes, I knew it, but you felt so far away. I could feel it if I tried. Something isn't close to right, and I'm lying through my teeth that it's okay.
Ooh, hi everyone. I ended up reading, I got caught in a downpour. I went for a walk, and as I was walking towards the river, I was like, gee, that cloud is really dark. It kind of looks like snow. In my mind, I'm thinking, oh, it looks like snow, but it's not cold enough for snow. Not doing the math and being like, well, then that means it's gonna rain. What is warm snow if not rain? I was like, oh, it's fine. It's not cold enough. I got caught in a downpour, which just meant that I read a little bit more than I thought I was going to. So I'm actually at almost 40%. Issues I have, kind of the same thing that I mentioned. The very easy character of like, she's more than a pretty face. She's so hot that no one believes she works hard, and like, my job is glamorous, but it's not actually glamorous. Like, I feel like that's been done. I understand that there are still people who think that way. Misogyny is having its moment right now. Like, I'm not saying that we don't need to be reminded of that. It's just like, it's a little overdone. I also like wouldn't necessarily consider someone who is known for like a home renovation show to be a reality TV star. Like, I guess that's what it is. Like, if I think of what would you call Bobby from Queer Eye? I don't necessarily consider that reality TV. I think that Bobby from Queer Eye is like a different level than like random person on Love Island. You know, like, I just think that those are different things. But anyway, so this Noah character, the dad, is trying to make her out to be like a Love Island kind of, like she's just hot, like just paid to be hot kind of thing. And I'm like, but do you, like, have you watched her shows? Like, she does. Anyway, there's literally a part where he's having a conversation with her and he goes, wow, maybe you're not as vapid and self-obsessed as I assumed you were. Also, a weird thing that is just standing out to me is that so far 3 different characters have said diabolical. I don't know what, that's like not a word that I see a lot, and 3 characters in 100-something pages have said diabolical. And also, like, she is still going on the I can't eat carbs thing. Like, it's just mentioned probably once every other chapter that she cannot eat carbs and that she needs to maintain her figure and da 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 da. And when she talks about it, like in her POV, it is clearly for aesthetic, right? Like, she needs to be thin. If she gains any weight, people are gonna ask if she's pregnant. Part of the job. She's gotta eat those kale salads. And then Sarah, the daughter, Noah's daughter, okay, is hanging out, and she's interested in like getting into the entertainment industry, but more specifically fashion, and is asking for advice. And the first thing she says something about like, what does she say? It's hard work, but you don't work hard so that other people see your hard work. Like, you work hard because that's what you love to do, and you have to be willing to sacrifice. So that's her first piece of life advice given to this daughter, okay? Sarah is like, can you give me an example? So that advice sounded good, right? Her example is, okay, sometimes it means enduring some pain now so you can enjoy yourself later. Kat wiggled her smoothie. Now, I don't particularly like smoothies. I'd much rather eat 3 slices of greasy sausage and green pepper pizza, but part of my job involves me staying in shape. Not just for looks, mind you. In my case, I'm older than you, and my metabolism doesn't want me to eat pizza for lunch because I'll fall asleep in 4 seconds. So, I'm choking down my carrots and hummus in this disgusting smoothie because I know that it will fuel me for the rest of the afternoon. So I'm enduring a little pain now for a bigger payoff later. And it's like, that's not true. Like, okay, good. Like, don't tell the little girl to starve herself. But also, you've already told us that you're not doing this because your carbs make you sleepy and you need protein. You're doing this because you don't want to gain weight. Like, she's talking about how she shouldn't be eating fettuccine, how she can't keep going to the bakery, she needs to call in her personal trainer. It's just like, okay. It's annoying as someone who, like, personally, I can't read. Like, famously, I put down Butter, a book I should have loved because it was so obsessed with counting calories and talking about food and weight loss and stuff like that. That's just not something I can safely read for my mental health. And this is like borderline, like, I have to make dinner today and it's making me think unhealthy things about what I'm gonna eat for dinner tonight. Damn it. Like, chill, girl. But one thing that is interesting is that the day of the hurricane,
then, or the day after, actually came to the town because she's already been there before. She helped a family rebuild their home. And so when she found out how much damage was in this town, she called up her friend and was like, listen, I'm gonna come, I'm gonna help. So she goes and she is helping the rescue team pull people out of their homes because the flooding was much worse than they expected. And she actually saves Noah's life, low-key. Like, I don't know if he was gonna actually die, but like he was getting swept away in the current and she caught him and pulled him onto the boat. And all he saw of her was the tattoo on her wrist because she had like a baseball cap and like, so she knows, she recognizes him and knows like, ooh, I saved that fucker's life, but he doesn't know. And so, and apparently he has been having flashbacks half a dozen times a day. He gets these visions of the muddy brown waters closing over his head. He finds himself fixating on those handfuls of seconds over and over again. And then the tattoo, the boat, the woman who dragged him out of the water like a half-drowned dog and had very likely saved his life. A stranger he'd never forget. One he'd probably never get the chance to thank. So I think that that's like a funny way to connect them. And all of her friends are like, no, you don't know Kat. She's so selfless. Like, you've got the wrong idea, Noah. And he's like, no, she's on TV. She must be bad. And it's like she's been there for weeks now. Get your head out of your ass. I don't know. So it's definitely getting better as it goes on. But like, if we keep hitting this like carb wall, I'm like, we gotta stop. And I swear to God, if he brings her pizza or something and she eats it and she's like, oh God, I love pizza, I'm not supposed to be eating this. If that's how this book ends, or if that's in the book, Lucy.
Okay, but I will admit I do really enjoy snowball fights. No matter who's fighting, I love a snowball fight.
No. Please don't talk to your own dick.
Okay, a really quick 67% update because I'm probably gonna go to bed soon. It's fine. I think it was rather sudden how we switched to it becoming physical and him having a very quick turnaround. He has now discovered that she's the one who saved his life, blah, blah, blah. Like, it took no time at all. I don't love when a character like loses their character when the sex scenes start, like they just become a different person. So it's not great, but I'm appreciating. We just had like a Thanksgiving dinner. Like, it's not quite giving Christmas yet, but we had a Thanksgiving dinner, we had a snowball fight. I'm starting to feel the Christmas cheer. I like all the other characters. It's fine so far. Like, we've gotten through the annoying, like, there's no more talk about I can't eat fettuccine. We've gotten over like the bumpy trying to create these characters, and now we're just letting them kind of be. So yeah, so far it's fine. I mean, the smut is smuttier than I would want it to be, but that's always gonna be me. This isn't too bad. On we go.
And we have another rom-com in the books. I finished, what was it even called? The Christmas Fix. It was fine. Once it got through the rocky bit of setting up like a horrible character, like we never circled back her obsession with carbs. Which, like, I'm glad, but also why was it mentioned so much in the beginning for us to like not do anything with it? Anyway, it was fine. It very much, like, if I framed it in, like, if I thought of it as a film that I was watching, like a corny Christmas movie, it was fine. Like, I would have probably sat through it. It wasn't amazing. I did tear up. I did see what was going to happen like way ahead of time, but you know what? It was wholesome. It had a really, really rocky start. I would say the first 30% was like not it. And it personally wasn't my favorite brand of romance, but it was good. I feel like if you like, I don't know, like a lot of it revolved around the fact that he is a struggling single dad who has like a fine relationship with his ex-wife, and it's fine, but like he's struggling with being a dad. So a lot of like the heartwarming parts were when like his daughter saw him as a hero, and like his daughter's really cute. I can't really believe that she's 12 by the way that she talks, but like it was heartwarming in that sense. So yeah, it was fine, actually. You know what? Totally fine. I wish there was a little bit more Christmas to it, but the snow fight was great. So anyway, I'm gonna go see, if you can't tell by my green and my not quite pink sparkly nails, I'm gonna go see Wicked now. So I'll see you guys. I'm gonna start my marathon later today. Thanks for joining me.
Alrighty. Hello, we are back. If you hear chopping noises in the background, Kurt is making dinner. I'm going to be starting another rom-com. This one's only 228 pages, so I hope that I can finish it tonight. It is called Hostel for the Holidays. This is hilarious already, only because when I loaded it onto my Kindle, before, sometimes your Kindle takes a while to like show the cover, and instead it just shows like the title. The title of this book, like I guess for SEO searching purposes, the title is Hostel for the Holidays, a steamy childhood rivals to lovers, fake dating, ... whatever. But because there's only so much room on the Kindle title page, it says Hostel for the Holidays, a steamy child. Okay, but we're gonna read Hostel for the Holidays. This is by Aaron Hawkins. Is it a secret? When did this book come out? Oh, it came out this year. Oh, wow. Okay, it came out in 2024. It has 429 ratings, but it's sitting at a 4.4. Okay, here we go. We got a nice long chunk of text, as usual for rom-coms. Okay. Is there anything worse than getting sick on a 4-hour flight home for the holidays? Good question. How about the fact that my childhood rival, okay, who has a childhood rival? But I gotta stop interrupting. How about the fact that my childhood rival, Jasper Jensen, is there not only to witness it, but to take care of me so he can hang it over my head for all of eternity? I am kind of a simp for somebody taking care of you when you're sick. That trope, kind of love it. Or maybe when an old fling is waiting to pick me up at the airport, hoping to rekindle our past over the holidays, and I'm so desperate to avoid him that I present Jasper as my boyfriend. Fuck, I also love that trope of just like panicking and being like, my boyfriend. And then he goes along with it. I'm hooked already. Jasper agrees to play the part if, in return, I attend his family's famous Christmas Eve party to keep his meddling family from setting him up. It's a small price to pay for my holiday peace. But nothing is peaceful about the holidays this year. My sister's getting married on New Year's Eve, that's a choice, and wedding planning is taking over Christmas. My family has no time for our holiday traditions. We don't even have a Christmas tree. Until Jasper swoops in. I'm worried, guys. I think I might like this book. Between helping me decorate for Christmas, taking me to look at light displays, and wrapping presents for underprivileged children, Jasper shows me a side of him I've never known. It's like, we get it, he's a good guy, okay? I vowed to keep the hostility between us. My heart is safer that way. But that might be one tradition that I can't hold on to this Christmas. Hostel for the Holidays. In I go. It's on Kindle Unlimited. Happy to be here. Happy to be here. Chapter 1, we are in dual POV. Oh, she's just hit after hit after hit. Stella is her name. Chapter 1, Stella's POV. I don't know why people complain about traveling during the holidays. I love the hustle and bustle of crowds, the anticipation of fellow travelers who are excited to reunite with family and friends, and of course, the festive decor and music in the terminal. It's the most wonderful time of the year, after all.
Oh, and it's a he falls first and he's been fallen, whatever. Yeah, this book was written for me. This book was written for me. Even though Stella is very annoying and childish, I'm giving her the first chapter to like get over that. Okay? She's sick on an airplane, all right? We're giving her grace. Wait, he figured out how to sit next to her on the flight home? Oh, no. I'm on page 55, which is 28%, and I'm thinking, man, I got no notes, okay? All of Jasper's POV is just him being like, damn, I've been in love with Stella since I could talk, like, blah, 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 blah. Stella is just like, fuck this, like, my family didn't put up Christmas tree lights, I puked on my childhood rival, the holidays suck, you know? Loving it so far. And then we get our first glimpse into the dirty part of Jasper's mind. And if this is foreshadowing for what our dirty talk is going to be like, I want to quit now because oh
I'm not gonna say the sentence out loud, but what he envisions, he's like, yeah, I just want to go to a Christmas tree farm with her, and I want to pick out the tree, and I want to put up the decorations, and then with the glow of the fireplace at our side. The rest of that sentence, he uses 2, if not 3, of my least favorite words. There's no juices, but he is drowning in something. So this is not, oh no. Okay, so first strike, but can I look past it, Jasper? Maybe. On we go. Well, confirmed. Who's the author? She starts with an E. Erin Hawkins officially had a bingo card of all of my least favorite words that you could use in a sex scene and used them all. But everything I'm on 57%. It's been super Christmassy. This is the one book that I feel like has been Christmas themed, which is what I'm looking for, and everything else is good. It's just once things get sexual, the vocabulary, I swear to God, it's all my least favorite. So we're gonna continue, but just a fair warning. It's actually upsetting how much I hate the smut scenes, how foul the smut scenes are. The words, the everything in between is so good, and then it gets steamy and I want to die. It's so bad. I'm gonna have nightmares about this. Yeah, ironically we're at 69%. We continue. Okay, that took me exactly an hour and 40 minutes to read. It is 216 pages. Great start, solid setup, and then it got steamy, and then it just went off the rails. So I will say, if you need a quick Christmas novella, this hits every mark. Okay, it does the job. However, the steamy scenes for me I was laughing. They were truly if this concept was written for me, the sex scenes were written exactly to kill me. She added the word milk in the very last one. I was like, at least there's no milk. Truly hit every single one of my icks multiple times, and feeling a little sick about it because I liked everything else. The crisis, the whole third act breakup or whatever, was so stupid, but it was resolved quickly because this is a novella. Everything's fast. But so yeah, I would say it was a great time for me because I was so horrified by the smut that it actually ended up being entertaining. That was Hostile for the Holidays. I'll see you tomorrow. Merry Christmas.
Testing. Hello. We are going to be wrapping this up. I am running out of time. I am running out of sanity. And I'm running out of books. So before we move on to the last 2 books I'm going to try and read. Where's that coming from? Oh, was it from my... from my zipper. There's a Tinkerbell going around. It's from my zipper. Okay, got it. So full disclaimer for what was the last book that I just read, Hostel for the Holidays. The characters, specifically Stella, specifically the girl, becomes so dumb. The stuff that she says, I'm just like, girl, what? What? But in a weird way, I think that it accurately captures how everyone reverts to their teenage selves when they go back to their hometown, where they went to high school. And if you're surrounded by your high school kids, you kind of revert back to that level of maturity. And so some of the things she was saying, I was like, this is not something a grown woman would say. It's something that a teenager would say to her first crush, So I think that in a way it was really cringy, but thinking back, I'm like, you know what though? I hate it because it's accurate. But yeah, that was a wild time. So I want to give a shout out to the books that have not come in from the library, unfortunately. One that I have been like on the cusp of, like I should have gotten this because I am number 1 in line, but it's just not coming in on time, is Love in Winter Wonderland by Abiola Bello. This seems like it's a really like young adult. It says that it's The Sun Is Also a Star meets You've Got Mail. It's set in a London Black-owned bookshop. Sounds great. So I'm kind of pissed. Honestly, like I still have it on hold. If it does come, how many pages is it? I'm just not sure if I have time. It's 312 pages. We'll see. If it comes in at the very last second, we'll try it, but just know that like that was on the list and it just never came in. 2 others, Make the Season Bright, 10 weeks out. 10 weeks. This is by an author that is very beloved. It's like a second chance enemies to lovers kind of sapphic romance that just was not in the cards. I was not going to get my hands on that one. And then another one was Make My Wish Come True, which was a young adult sapphic, 2 author, so I assume dual POV, like kind of fake dating, many dates, romantic comedy. So I'm holding out for Love in Winter Wonderland. I'd really love like a Christmassy bookish romance, but instead we're gonna read something that might be really silly. And why is it 500 pages long? Are we trying to kill me this Christmas? All right, let's see what this is about. I will be reading, oh my god, I don't know about this one. How My Neighbor Stole Christmas. This came out in October of this year, and it already has 40,000 ratings. It's at a 3.93. A new holiday enemies to lovers romance by USA Today bestselling author Megan Quinn. As his fellow citizens decorate their quaint town, brimming with carols and glad tidings, Cole wants nothing more than to hibernate the winter away. But his dreary plans are thwarted when his Christmas nemesis, Story Taylor, Storee. It's like one of those baby names of like unhinged white millennial women. Okay. His Christmas nemesis, Story Taylor, moves in next door to care for her Aunt Cindy. Immediately, the new neighbor turns his life into a real nightmare before Christmas, especially when she decides to enter the town Christmas Kringle contest in honor of Cindy. And better yet, Story is determined to win. Over Cole's dead body, she will. With help from his friend Max, Cole decides to enter the competition as well, to beat Story at her own game by pretending that this hometown grump's heart has grown 3 sizes this season, and he's fallen for the girl next door. And unfortunately for Story, she has to follow his lead to have a chance at the Christmas Kringle title. What is a Christmas Kringle? Okay, well, we're gonna learn something new about Christmas maybe. It's just a name for Father Christmas, but why does he suddenly want... Okay, that was another gibberish plot summary. But we're gonna dive into it. It is, as I said, 482 pages. Oh my god. Oh, what the... This starts with a prologue that is 4 pages long, and it's a poem. Every Kringle in Kringletown celebrated Christmas a lot, but Cole Black on Whistler Lane, unfortunately, did not. Cole became a recluse during the Kringle Christmas season. No one knew why. No one could quite give a reason. Martha said it was because he was alone and very single. May said it was because he was never named Town Kringle. But to me, the true reason is a story far too sad. For at the age 18, he lost both mom and dad. What the hell? Oh, no. Skipping. Who cares who celebrates Christmas more, he would grumpily say, his motto until a shift in the wind on one blustery day. From his window he peered at the commotion over the fence. The sight of a familiar redhead made his soulless heart grow tense. But why, it's been years, exactly 10 to be fair, since she strutted around with her deep red hair. Stop. Wow, okay, this is rough. Guys, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I should do this. Thank goodness this is on Kindle Unlimited and I didn't buy it. Dual POV, Chapter 1, Story. Do you want to know what the first sentence is? Do you want me to read you the first sentence? I'd love to, thanks for asking. Story's POV. You know,
You never truly get over the first pucker of your nips when that mountain air hits you, I say as I stuff my mitten-covered hands into my jacket pockets. Nipples in the first sentence. Here we go. Okay, I made it to a whopping 20%. I read 100 pages, giving it a fair shot. And guys, I'm tapping out. I can't force myself to read this book. It is so childish and not funny in any way. Like, I'm okay, like for Hostel for the Holidays, it was childish, but there was still like a touch of humor to it. Like the jokes were actually kind of funny. This is just really stupid. Like, she keeps calling him Connor on purpose instead of Cole, and every time she says Connor, he says, "You know my name is Cole." But it's like every time she says Connor, and it's like, just understand, Cole, understand that she's doing it to push her. She knows it's Cole. She knows. Yeah, it's not funny. They're competing to see who has the most Christmas spirit. It's like this town competition, right? She's like, "Oh yeah, I have more Christmas spirit. I can pull candy canes out of my ears." And he's like, "Well, I dream of sugar plum fairies." And she's like, "Well, my nipples are brighter than the brightest Christmas lights," or something. I kid you not. I'm on page 100. I'm on page 96. They have said nipples 15 times, I would say. What? Like, it's not even fun. I dream of sugar plum fairy. It's not funny. There hasn't been a joke that I've like giggled at. I'm just not into it, and I don't want to force myself to read 500 pages of it, so I'm gonna put it down. You can give it a try, but really for me it was just like absolutely not. I also don't believe that this woman is from California, because like 37 degrees is a California morning. Like, if you wake up really early, San Diego gets cold. Like, in our like quote unquote San Diego is considered like, I think what she's thinking of in terms of California being like warm and sunny all the time. We get into the 30s, girl. We're not gonna die of 37 degree weather, okay? I just yeah, I'm putting it down. I'm stepping away, and I'm gonna start something tomorrow. I think I need to give myself a bigger break. I'm feeling honestly like cyber sickness coming, because I've just been reading on my Kindle for like a week straight. How my neighbor stole Christmas? I don't know. I will never know. I'm protecting my peace. So yeah, our next one is the one that I've been holding on to for the end, so I'm very excited, but I'm gonna read that tomorrow or later tonight. Sorry that was so quick. See you later. Oh man. Hi. We are down to our last book. Again, I had others, but just my brain is fried, and I think I've talked your ear off enough about the books we've already read. So we have one more. This is one that I have kept in my back pocket. I saved it for last because I know I'm going to have a good time. This is, hold on. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. The Elven Days of Christmas. This is by the same author as Thrown in the Dark. Not enough people talk about this. It's a Kindle Unlimited. It's not really enemies to lovers. It's called Villains and Virtues. It's about a guy who is a villain, but he's really not. And it's so good. The series is a little long and it's supposed to be stupid. Like, it's a very self-aware romantasy. I really loved it. The first book was just like chef's kiss. The rest of the series, it gets long and you're just like, what is happening? But it's a good time. Feel good, fun. Thrown in the Dark. Please read it. One of my favorite reads from last year. So this author wrote a Christmas novella. It is 275 pages, called The Elven Days of Christmas. If I am correct, it is following two completely separate characters. I don't believe you need to read Thrown in the Dark at all. This came out January 1st of 2023. It only has 586 ratings. It's at a 4.32. I'm just excited. I'm just so excited. So here we go. Piper McLean's Christmas is a ho-ho horror show, but she's used to that by now. She's 5 years into becoming the de facto matriarch of the family, if still single and childless, much to everyone else's chagrin. But she does have one indulgence every year: finding the perfect
Christmas tree. While searching the national forest, Piper is led to the beautiful spruce by way of magic. Well, not actual magic. Magic, of course, doesn't exist, but it sure feels magical when she hears the voice of her deceased mother floating on the wintry winds, telling her just which tree to chop. Unfortunately, that very tree actually is quite magical, and accounting for it is the last task the half-elf Cole needs to complete before turning in his annual reports to the Elven Perennial Association. What? When he discovers the pilfered spruce, he simultaneously finds that the only way to return order to the forest is to endure a human holiday alongside a grumpy and overburdened woman who does not want him around. Okay, so that was another case of slight gibberish. So yeah, I guess Piper cuts down a Christmas tree she's not supposed to cut down. And I love that. I also just saw, I didn't actually look into this. This is a pure case of reading a headline and not reading the article, so I'm very sorry. But did I not just see that there is a Christmas tree farm that is renting Christmas trees? And then you can return them and they will plant them again? Am I mistaken? Anyway, perhaps that's what Cole is going to do. Cole, also K-O-L, 2 Coles in a row. Perhaps that's what he will do. He has to wait for Christmas to be over to take the tree back. Anyway, we're gonna dive in. I just think that her writing is such a fun, goofy time. So that's what I'm looking for. There's an author's note and a reading note. Author's note: please be aware that this book contains discussions of long-term grief and the loss of a parent, discussions of terminal illness and death, discussions of infertility, and depictions of domestic exploitation, amongst other potentially triggering content. For the full list, This book also contains explicit sexual content. I trust her. All right? She's not going to use milk. She's not going to use juice. All right? Reading note: the Elven Days of Christmas takes place in the same universe as Vacancy and the Association. Oh, see, I never read those. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. And while I don't think familiarity with these books and their world is necessary at all to enjoy this book, here are just a few things you might find useful to know. In my head, I call it the Vacant Universe because it starts with the vacancy, and it makes me laugh to refer to something as vacant that I purposely dumped every magical being I can think of, except ghosts, into. Essentially our contemporary world, but secretly dotted with neighborhoods, small towns, and a few sprawling cities where magic exists freely. These places are surrounded by human repellent barriers, though that doesn't stop a number of human protagonists from accidentally finding their way in and fucking things up. Literally, she says, elves. There we go. Elves are extremely long-lived and connected to the earth, but there are essentially 2 kinds: hippy-dippy tree huggers and uptight bureaucrats. They function together to preserve enchanted forests, but usually have very little interaction with humans, until, of course, one of these uptight elves has a baby with a woefully unprepared human, and our male lead is born. Oh, right. Okay, we knew he was a half. Anyway. Chapter 1. Can you see it's got chapter header art, which I love. Chapter 1 is called An Accountant and Too Few Fir Trees. I'll read a little bit for you. The world was a pall of white, snow blanketing the earth and hanging thickly from the branches bent under its weight. A second shroud of white hung in dense clouds above, though the sun broke through to set the frosty scape a-glitter. Otherworldly in its beauty, the picturesque wonderland stretched for as far as one could see in every direction. And gods, it was fucking cold. Okay, Cole doesn't like cold things, so this should be a great wintry read. I've got my coffee, I've got my blanket, and where is he? Oh. Let's go. Okay, she is chasing after her dog and runs into this guy, this elf, in the woods, and he tries to not hypnotize her, but like persuade her that she tripped and fell on the ice and she's hallucinating this whole thing, but she's gonna tonight she's gonna drag her Christmas tree out here into the woods, blah 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 blah. And she immediately snaps out of it once he says something about him being an elf. Like, you never saw this elf and his like fancy reindeer horse thing. And she immediately is like, wait, what the fuck? Did you just say elf? And she thinks that he's a Christmas elf, like Santa Claus. She's like, why aren't
why are you so tall? Like, aren't you supposed to be a tiny little elf? Where's Santa Claus? So now she's like fully focused on the story and she's like, wait a damn second. I'm not giving you my Christmas tree. Like, I don't have fucking time to go get another Christmas tree. I've got a house full of my family members. They're all waiting for Christmas. I'm like doing everything. I'm stressed. I don't have time for you. And he's like, but are you not freaked out that you just met a mythical creature? And she's like, babe, I've got lasagna in the oven. I got bigger fish to fry, you know? Okay, not quite a fan of us turning asshole into elf hole because I just don't want to think about elf holes. Okay, so the story is, for whatever reason, the tree has like bonded with Piper, so he can't take the tree back to the forest until she's done with it. So like after Christmas, like the tree is very sentient and seems to be very happy to like be this family's Christmas tree for, you know, the season. So he is staying with her, and like of course one of her aunts comes out and sees him and is like, oh my god, Piper, I didn't know you had a boyfriend and you invited him to Christmas. So it immediately becomes a fake dating thing where she's like, well damn it, you have to stay. He's having a lot of fun because Piper is finally he has met somebody more like high strung and uptight than he is. So he's actually having a good time, like finally being able to like poke somebody. And she's just like, fuck, like she has a huge family and they don't do anything. And so she is like making dinner, making breakfast, and she's like, and now I have to deal with this fucking elf in my house. It's funny. And like immediately, like, of course he's her fake boyfriend. So like he has to stay in her room. And you know what? At first I was like, okay, this is so stupid. Like you just ran into a stranger in the woods and a few hours later he's sleeping in your room. But you know what? When I get stressed and have a lot of things to do, sometimes I'm just like, fuck it. I don't have time for this right now. Just get in here. You know, I want to go to sleep. We'll deal with this later. So it's funny so far. This is what I mean by the plot being self-aware. I love when she's just like, fuck it. It works. Okay? Shut up. Oh no, mate jump scare. Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down.
Oh man. And with that, the Christmas rom-com marathon comes to an end. So glad I left that for last. Thank you, Ashley. That one, let's look at my list. I can say with confidence that this was the most Christmassy of the bunch. It all revolved around one girl just trying to wrangle her family together to have a good Christmas season. It went over the span of about 10 days and they did, you know, Christmas shopping, decorating, snowball fight. It had it all. It also had elves. Short, sweet, cute. It ticked all the boxes. So I would say, I know that it's a fantasy. So there are people who like fantasy, there are people who like romance books. Not always do they gel. Some people like them to be completely separate. I still think a regular schmegular romance reader would still... That's not fire. No. Okay, sorry. Looking directly at there never a dull day with my construction site next to my house. Anyway, I don't think it was so over-the-top fantasy that a regular, like, contemporary romance reader wouldn't be able to gel with it. It was just great. Okay, he was mostly human. He could just, like, talk to animals. Okay, let's get ranking. Hold on, let me do this. So I've created a little graphic for you where the x-axis is telling you level of spice. The y-axis is telling you how much plot was there, how much did I enjoy the plot. You'll notice that none of them are very much near the top. I don't think any of them had a really solid plot. I would say that honestly, this one that I just read, Elven, Christmas, whatever, is the top in terms of plot. Merry Little Meet Cute, if it could be off the chart in terms of like no plot, all spice, it would be. So this is they're all, I mean, obviously they're romances, so they're all leaning towards the spice level, but yeah, that's that's kind of my rating for that. Now, in terms of ranking them for Christmas feeling, in terms of A Merry Little Meet Cute, Set the Record Straight, and The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year, I'm gonna say they really didn't give me Christmas. None of them did. Because a lot of the setups for these, honestly, like even for like the holly dates and things like that, or the Christmas fix, they're all about leading up to Christmas versus like the one that I just read, Christmas was happening. Okay, I prefer something that takes place on Christmas, but these were all like, I need a date for Christmas, so blah, you know? So yeah, I would rank Wonderful Crime of the Year, Set the Record Straight, Merry Little Meet Cute, just like not Christmassy. Didn't feel any Christmas whatsoever. The next, going from least to most, I would say the Christmas fix. We got snowball fights. It was like more Thanksgiving. I think this was more of a like transition from Thanksgiving to Christmas kind of book. How the Duke Stole Christmas. It was really just snowy. Like there wasn't Christmas. It was kind of just snow. You know? Next up would be the holly dates. Again, this is a case of like needing to find a date for Christmas. It did eventually get Christmassy, but I think the like majority chunk of the book was just kind of like a cute, not fake dating, but like dating coach kind of vibe. It was still cute, but like not heavy on the Christmas. A Cruel Winter with You, being snowed in. It was so short. Like it was, yeah. Okay, I just can't. A Cruel Winter with You. Then I would say Hostel for the Holidays, Christmas stuff, Christmas tree farms, Christmas lights, going home to your hometown for the holidays. Did the job. Under the Mistletoe with You, small town, snowed in, a little community coming together, baked goods. Enough Christmas for me, I would say. Not over the top Christmas, but enough Christmas for me. And then at the top, I can confidently say the most just like fun, gooey, and Christmas vibey, The Elven Days of Christmas. So glad I saved that one for last. How My Neighbor Stole Christmas is just not on DNF, not on the list. Sorry. Another Cole came in and saved the day. So that's me. That's all I can handle. I was considering reading a couple more of the Christmas novellas that are in the same kind of package as Ali Hazelwood's A Cruel Winter with You, but reading all of the summaries, they do not look up my alley. They're also rated pretty low. I was gonna read them to like just be a funny time because the Tessa Bailey one looks so stupid. But I just can't, I'm just not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that to myself. This was painful, but we ended on such a happy note that I don't mind. I hope you have a merry, merry Christmas or holiday season. Always happy to be sharing my bad book experiences with you, but glad I got to share some good ones too. And I'm gonna let you go. I gotta edit this, and then I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna take time off for Christmas and my birthday. So happy birthday to all my December Capricorns. Love to you. Extra special happy birthday to my New Year's Eve babies. Love you, twin that I don't know. And I'll catch you next year. I've got some videos. This is my last video I'm filming. I have some videos still coming out for you, but this is my last one to edit away. So yeah, just truly thank you always. And I look forward to next year. Let me know if you got any video ideas, any video requests. Always love your ideas. And let me know if you braved the Tessa Bailey short story. Okay, I gotta go. My laundry's about to be done. Thank you so much to Squarespace once again for sponsoring this and for being on this journey with me. I will have a link in the description box. You can go to squarespace.com/caricanread to get 10% off of your first website or domain. Yes, I will catch you later. Thank you always. Thank you to this gingerbread man for being with me for the journey. See you later.